good morning or good afternoon or good evening or good night or whatever time you're watching this. Hello, year one. How you doing? Last term in art, we were talking about lines. And in this term, we're going to be moving our focus towards shapes. So the thing that's interesting about shapes is that they're actually made up of lines. And I wanted to start today by sharing a book with you about what happens when a line bends. So this book is called When a Line Bends, a Shape Begins. And it's by Rhonda Gowler Green and it's illustrated by James Kazman. I think that's how you say it. When a Line Bends, a Shape Begins. By Rhonda Gowler Green, illustrated by James Kazman. A line is thin, a line is narrow. It's curved like a worm and straight like an arrow. A line is a jump rope, black ants in a row, a tug-of-war game and a violin bow. A tall pole for fishing, a leash and a trail. A kite string, a shoelace, a whisker, a tail. Yes, a line is fine, but when a line swerves, when a line bends, watch what can happen, a shape begins. A square is 4 sides all the same, the boxes of a hopscotch game, a patch to cover up your knee, a present sent from you to me. A checkerboard of red and black, blocks to build with, share and stack. A cracker is a square to eat, a square dance is for happy feet. A rectangle is like a square with something rearranged. 2 sides are long and 2 are short. The 4 sides now are changed. Rectangles are a book to read, a window and a door, a picture hanging on the wall, or a rug that warms the floor. A sign for selling lemonade, a box that you can hide in, a letter from the postman, and a wagon that 2 can ride in. A triangle is 3. 3 sides, 3 corners too. The white sail of a boat or a tent built just for you. An instrument to ring, the pyramids of old. A lunch of jam and bread or a napkin in a fold. A jack-o'-lantern's eyes, a wicked witch's hat, the beak of a black crow or the pricked ears of a cat. A diamond sits upon a point, its 4 sides are the same. A giant green one is the infield of a baseball game. Yellow ones along the road serve as warning signs. Black and white ones stand out bold in fancy floor designs. Baby skates are wooden ones that you can stretch or squeeze. A ballerina's legs form one when bending at the knees. A circle's a button, a sock hole to mend, a shiny blue marble or a penny to spend. A bubble, a yo-yo, a red hula hoop, the bowl that mum fills with hot noodle soup. A nest in a tree or a cookie to eat, cymbals to clang or a big drum to beat. Bicycle wheels to a tin tambourine, a tiny curled kitten or a crown for a queen. An oval's like a circle except it's not as stout. 2 sides go in to make it thin, 2 other sides go out. Oval is a turtle's shell, a way up high balloon, a beetle and a jelly bean, the curved scoop of a spoon. It's a mirror made to look in, an egg all coloured bright, a mouth that's filled with singing and a baby bundled tight. Star is a 5-pointed shape, shining bright. Star shares the sky with the moon late at night. It tops tinselled trees in a season so merry. It sits on the tip of a wand of a fairy. Gold ones are given for good work in schools. The sheriff star warns the bad guys of rules. A shooting star vanishes quick with a swish. Star is even the shape of a fish. Heart goes beat, ba beat, ba beat inside you all the time. It's also the shape that says, I love you, Valentine. A crescent is a slender shape, a yellow fruit to eat, a hammock strung between two trees for Dad to rest his feet. It's a smile when curving up, when down it is a frown. It is the moon when day is gone that hangs above the town. Ooh, an octagon has many sides, all counted there are 8. You see it at the corner, it tells the cars to wait. Shapes are here, shapes are there. Wherever you look, a circle or square, a diamond, octagon, crescent or star, shapes to discover wherever you are. A rectangle, triangle, oval or heart, shapes with a curve or a corner to start. Anywhere, everywhere, shapes big and small, dependable, bendable, lines make them all. And that's it. So, this time we're going to be looking at what happens when we bend our lines and turn them into shapes. But there's a few really important things that we need to talk about before we get started on that. What is a shape and how is it different from a line? I'm going to do some work with you in a second once I get my whiteboard out, and we're going to have a chat about what the difference between a line and a shape is. Give me a sec. So I have in front of me my handy dandy whiteboard, and we're going to talk a little bit today about what the difference between a line and a shape is. So we know lots and lots about lines after looking at them all of last term. So we know that lines have direction. They can be horizontal, they can be vertical, or they can be diagonal. But just like in the book that we just read, we can use lines to make up lots and lots of different shapes. So we can use 4 straight lines to make a square. Whoa, that wasn't very good. Or we can use 4 straight lines to make a rectangle. We can use diagonal lines, and we can use straight lines to make a triangle. And we can use lots of different lines like an arch and a straight line to make a semicircle. All of the shapes that we use are made up of different kinds of lines, but there's something that's really important about a shape. If I draw a circle and leave just a little gap like that, do you think it's still a shape? Why do you think that? If this is open and it's got a little gap in it, can this still be a shape? Guess what? It's not. It's actually still a line. The most important thing with a shape is that it needs to be closed. Now we've got a shape. So if you see a shape that's got a little opening in it, guess what? It's still a line until we close it up. Shapes have to be closed. And that's really important. You can have lots and lots of different shapes, but as soon as they've got that little gap in them, they're a line, they're not a shape. We have to make sure that we close them up. So I'm going to draw a couple of shapes, and I want you to tell me if you think that they're open, like a line, or closed like a shape. So we'll start with, is it a line or is it a shape? Is it open or is it closed? This one is closed. So guess what? That means it's a shape. What about this one? What do you think? Is it opened or closed? Is it a line or is it a shape? Remember, what can we see here? That's right. There's a little gap, which means it's open. If this is open, can it be a shape or what is it? It's a line. For it to be a shape, we'd need to close that little gap up. Let's get a little bit trickier. What about Is it a line? Is it a shape? Is it open or is it closed? It's open. It's got that little gap there, which means that we can't call it a shape. It has to be a line. Last one. Let's see how we go. A nice, long, thin rectangle. But is it a rectangle? Does it have a gap? Is it open? Is it closed? Is it a line or is it a shape? This one is closed, which means what? It's a shape. Woo! Nicely done, year one. Let's see how we go. Okay, so now that we've talked a little bit about the difference between a line and a shape, hang on. What did we say about lines and shapes again? That's right. So a line is open and doesn't connect and close, but a shape connects and closes. It means that it's got no gaps. If it has a gap in it, it's not a shape, remember? It's a line. Okay, now that I've remembered, what I would like you to do today is using whatever materials you've got at home, pencils, textures, paper, whatever you've got, I would like you to draw an artwork that uses at least 4 different kinds of shapes. So you might want to include a love heart, a triangle, a circle, a square, or something a bit weird like the ones in the book, like an octagon or a crescent or an oval. Once you've done your drawing and you've really taken your time to draw and colour in, make sure that you take a little picture of it and send it to me so that I can see what you're doing and I can give you some feedback on your artwork. I can't wait to see if I can spot all 4 of the different shapes that you've used in your artwork. Good luck. Bye.